What is up, YouTube? We are here today at YCS Atlanta. We are here with a Dragon Duel champion. What's your name, man?
Danil Mcquillin.
Yeah, and what were you playing today?
Infernity FTK.
Infernity FTK. Wow. You went ahead and you won the whole thing.
Yeah. Got
yourself some prize cards. Got yourself a nice championship trophy. How are you feeling right now?
Pretty pumped.
Yeah?
I went 2-0. Had a few misplays there, which they had to call me on, but like at the end. But otherwise,
right.
Yeah, it was good.
All right, let's get into this deck profile.
All right, for the monsters, there's the one Archfiend, just the boss monster. The deck searches everything. 3 Necromancer. I feel like you're gonna need 3 at the end. Some people play 2, but I feel like 3 is just the magic number. Yes, you can brick with it, but at the same time, you might not be able to pull off your entire FTK if like you waste a resource somewhere. Right. Like, for example, with Curios, if you mill like a Mirage or something, you have to use an Archer loop in order to recur it back. But if you have 2, then you might not even be able to do the whole combo. So that's why it feels safe just playing 3.
Okay.
Then 1 Mirage, this card basically just is the thing you loop at the end. You bounce back with Firewall, you banish it off 100 Eyes, and you summon it with Leviator. This is basically what makes you loop Amazon's Archer just multiple times. Because it just summons 2 from grave by tributing itself, so they can't ogre it. And that's basically just why you play it, because it summons 2. And you usually summon 2 Necromancers or summon 2 other monsters.
Right.
Then 1 Infernity Avenger. This is how you're going to make your 100 Eyes Dragon in the end. 1 Patriarch. It's the one of that you almost never see, and you don't want it in your hand because it's a brick. But that's just if you don't have an extra monster with your Leviator at the end. You just add that so that you can summon it. And then 1 Eris for the Armageddon Knight to search this. So that's just the Fiend lineup. Then triple Summoner Monk. You play 16 spells and 24 monsters. You most likely have a spell in your hand, so that's why you have this card. And since it's at 3, that's why you play it. And it gets searched off Time Star.
Right, right.
And then 3 Armageddon Knight. You want this to send your Eris to search your Archfiend. You usually normal summon this even if you have scales, so that then you can Pendulum summon your Archfiend after. And that's the just dumping and summoning from the deck. For Magicians, you play 1 Harmonizing. This is basically what gets you into Time Star. 1 Black Fang for a high scale, and 2 low scales. Even though you do have the Dragon Shrines to get you Dark Room and your 0 scale, you sometimes draw into one of these, even with only 1. And sometimes Pendulum Call, you just want to have another one.
Right. And
that's basically why you have 2 low scales. But this, I don't feel like you need more. You could even use that if you have to, but most likely you won't. So that's Magicians. Then 2 Darkworm, 1/0, 1 Shaddoll. I feel like 3 is a bit too much for me. You do want them to dump. You play minimum 1 for sure, but you also want them to set your scales automatically.
Right.
But I play 2 because I kind of want to take out a Dragon Ravine for another one of this, which I probably might do later, but so far this has worked out for me. And that's just what you search, and that's also a good card. Just summon itself. And then for the 1-ofs, the 1 Zephyros and the 1 Amazon's Archer, this does your whole FTK, and this just summons itself again.
Right.
Then for spells, Triple Allure helps you see your pieces for the combo, like, as soon as possible. Sometimes you just end up setting this card or discarding it off Summoner Monk because you already have the combo and you don't want to, like, have to banish stuff. So that's that. 3 Dragon Shrine. This, you want your Dragon Sends because those are really good. Those facilitate your combos most of the time. It searches scales as well. You usually send Darkworm. If you already have Darkworm in grave, for example, you discard it off Pendulum Call, then you just send to Shaddoll. So it's really good because unlike Dragon Ravine, which is the one I like least, it doesn't have a cost.
Right.
And then 2 Dragon Ravine. I want this card at 1. I don't like it at 2. I never saw it though, so that's fine. I usually sided both of them out for cards, but I just don't like this card. It's kind of weird. Just have to discard. It can be murky sometimes. 2 Pendulum Call, 2 Duelist Alliance. This searches Pendulum Call. You want your Magician searches. You want to go into Time Star and search something. And then for the spell 1-ofs, 1 Launcher, really good. 1 Rhoda, also really good. 1 Monster Reborn, yay, it's back. And 1 Soul Charge, still at 1.
These are some strong 1-ofs.
Whoa. Okay. These are tokens. For extra deck, 1 Invoker. This summons your Archer, and you just use 2 Necromancers to make it, and you do end up getting 2 Necromancers by summoning Archfiend off the first Necromancer, which you search off of it when you originally summon it. Then you link those 2 for like a proxy or an Underclock Taker if you want. Those will just, that will search you the Necromancer, then you link the Archfiend and the other Link monster for another Link monster, and then you summon the Necromancer from your hand. Yeah. And then you have your 2 Necromancers, and that's how you make this. Then 1 Levier, this is for the end of the combo. You just have to go through everything, then you make 100 Eyes, then you make this, because that summons the Banished Mirage off 100 Eyes.
Right.
For the rank 4s, 1 Time Star. This does search the Summoner Monk, so that's the reason you play it. 1 evilswarm Nightmare. I was going to side this and replace it with Link Spider so that I don't have to normal summon in some of the combos, but I decided that just in case I brick, I want this card just to be there. And I was playing against a Pendulum deck, and this kind of just helps it out. If you book a Moon, their entire Pendulum summon, which this is during either player's turn, not once per turn, so you can use it multiple times and it's only detaching once, so it's basically a Dolka.
Right.
Then Elastic Seas Monster, 1 Galaxy Tomahawk. This card's amazing in Link format. Just summons 5 tokens, and then you're basically just set to make Firewall and Proxy. And the reason I had Link Spider is that you link one of the tokens for Link Spider, and then you'd link the other token in Link Spider for Proxy, and then you trigger Firewall to summon from your hand, because tokens don't go to grave, but Link Spider does. Then 1 Meteor Burst. For this, you use Destrudo and the Dark Worm, usually, and 100 Eyes, and that's basically Synchros and Excesis. Then for links, 1 Underclock Taker. This card should not have been a common. It's good going second as well. It's basically a better Proxy Dragon. And sometimes you don't even need it to point down. You can just use it sideways. And this card is just generic. That's why it's so good. And sometimes if you don't get your combo, you might end up with Trigate. Like, you'd have Trigate here. You might have Saryuja here. And then the Underclock Taker would be on the right. It could lower your opponent's attack, and it's still pointing to the right, co-linking with them. So that's basically one reason, or multiple reasons that you play it. Then 2 Proxy, you usually don't make the second one because you have this, but it's just there so that if like you lose one of them, you still have the other one to continue with. Then for Link 3s, 1 Curios. I didn't make it recently at all, but this does help on Brick You. Like basically, you have Summoner Monk, Armageddon Knight, and Archfiend sometimes, and that's what you make this with. And they're pretty much all darks in the deck, and you can sometimes use Dark Worm or Destrudo as well. But this card like sends more targets for Launcher, which is usually why it's good. It's just if the effect to mill wasn't mandatory, I'd probably go into it more. It's just sometimes I just don't want to risk it. If you mill Archer or Mirage, it's kind of hard to come back. Then 1 Gaia Saber. It's a Link-free Proxy Dragon, that's all I'm going to say. 1 Trigate, it's a good last resort card, and you want this to co-link with Firewall so that you can bounce back the Mirage. Then 1 Saryuja, this card is amazing, unbricks you as well, and it summons from your hand, and the lesser effect, it just lets you gain attack. And then the Firewall, which is just the best card in the deck.
Of course.
That's why the deck exists. For side deck, this is my lucky card. I just have it in there because I had a slot for it. And then 3 Chaos Hunters. This was for Trick Stars and basically any deck that banishes. And 3 Ash Blossoms. This card does negate almost everything. Negates a lot of the meta cards, so that's why I have it in here. And I want to give a quick shout out to my friend Andrew for giving me this and that. Because I wouldn't have been able to use these, but when I did side them in, I never drew them, so that kind of didn't work out, but at the same time, I did 2-0 the guy. But that's just for popping stuff. I played against DDDs, and this I would ogre his contract when I can, and then I'd Ash their Kepler, because they don't want their Kepler on the field, but at the same time, since it's an on-summon effect, if you use Ogre, it's going to get destroyed, which basically they don't want Kepler on their field. That's why this card isn't as good against it. Use it on contracts. But I'm pretty sure they'll still get their search because of the fact it's an on-summon effect, and this doesn't negate. Then 3 Evenly Matched. These are also Andrews. I sided that in, still didn't draw it, but that's just there to wreck anyone's board. This card works against everyone. If they can't make a board, then they're not playing a good deck. Then 1 Raigeki. This Raigeki. And then a Borload just in case. Like I might side it out for Curios if I wanted to, because I can make this easy, because the way I make this is just 4 random monsters, and that's basically what you need this for. And you don't play any normal monsters, so it's
Right.
not like you're not going to have effect monsters. So that's why I play it, and it's just a good going second card. It reduces your opponent's attack and steals their monsters. So that's that, and that's basically the whole side deck.
That is exciting. How do you feel?
Really good.
Really good?
I'm trying to contain myself right now. Trying to look home.
All right, well, before we end this, do you have any shout outs?
Super Games, it's my locals. Flea, he taught me how to play this deck. And he's a good friend from locals. And Andrew, who is also from locals, who lended me the Ashes and the
Yeah,
and
Andrew seems like a pretty good friend, huh?
And the Borla, yes.
Yeah. All right, well, I want to thank you for this deck profile and hope to see you keep playing, keep growing, keep attending more events, and we'll see you later in the future, man.
Thank you.
Be sure to check out our previous video and our must-see pick. As always, this is Joe Grizz, out.